Good morning, guys. This is Dr. Alexandra here today with you, and I would like to talk about implants and how it's done and what it involves. But before I start on implants, I just wanted to share this experience of the beautiful day and water and the fresh air and how beautiful it is. So always take your time, enjoy the outside, enjoy the weather. It's a beautiful season, summer. Okay, so back to implants. Let me just try to fix my camera so you guys can see everything. All right, so implants. What is it all about? Implant has three major parts. This part over here is actual implant screw, or how we call it, a fixture. This part over here is called an abutment. This is something that screws on the internal part of the implant. And then this is a crown that goes on top of the abutment when we restore your implant for you. So what is it all involved? Most of the time when the patient comes in and the tooth is unrestorable, the tooth needs to be extracted first. For the best results, after the tooth is extracted, what we do, we fill that remaining socket or hole in the bone with the bone graft material. Once the bone graft material is filled in the socket, we suture it and we leave the tooth and the bone to heal for about 4 months. After the 4 months, the patient comes back to us and we do what we call a cone beam CT scan. Cone beam CT scan is a 3D image. What it basically does, it shows us all the structures in your mouth, like nerves that go around, might be going around or somewhere close by to where we're planning on placing an implant. So it's important for us to know what's located in the place where the implant is presumably gonna be going. After the cone beam CT scan is done, the doctor is gonna be reviewing it and building what we call a 3D digital plan for the patient. The 3D digital plan most of the time will be involving a guide like that. So this guide is fabricated by the lab for the doctor. What it does pretty much, if you look over here, you see how it has special holes over here. So those holes are exactly the pretty much they manufactured for us so that we know exactly by what angulation and how deep we need to go with an implant. Because obviously, guys, we're not drilling into the walls, we're drilling into the human body, right? So we want to know exactly, without any possible mistakes, where the implant is gonna go. So this is the surgical process. That's how we place this part of the implant. After the surgery is done, we close the implant and we'll let it heal for another 4 to 6 months. This is what we call obtaining a biological stability of the implant. What happens during this time, the bone starts growing around the threads of the implant and the body accepts the implant part. After that, patient comes back to us again, and that's when we do the restorative part. That's when we start working on the top of your gum line. So, as I mentioned before, this is the abutment. Implant is a screw, has a screw within a screw. So what we do is, a lot of times nowadays, we go with, instead of cemented crowns, we go with the screw retained crowns. That's when the crown and abutment are connected by another screw together. So you take an impression, you send it to the lab, and the lab makes a custom abutment designed specifically to fit your shape of the mouth and your shape of the tooth and your bite. And then on top of that, we screw a crown on your implant. Easy peasy.